So by now, we've all heard the news that Dunhill tobacco, after a period of time, will no longer be distributed in the United States. And I think we're kidding ourselves if we allow ourselves to wonder if this wasn't a direct result of the FDA deemings. And we've all been over these deeming regulations so much, just ad nauseum in the YouTube pipe community, just back and forth. And I don't want to make just another video like talking about how bad the FDA deeming regulations are. I'm kind of, I'm struck by this news, but I don't really know. I want to offer something unique to the conversation. And so I've been thinking, what can I offer? Thoughts on this that no one else is going to have. And I think I can offer the perspective that I can offer to any conversation, which is reactionary paranoia. First, hoard Dunhill tobacco. I know I told you not to a year ago. That was then. This is now. Get all the Dunhill tobacco you can get your slimy, nicotine-stained hands on. And then I want you to buy a shovel. Then I want you to go to Home Depot, right? And I want you to buy all the PVC you can and all the PVC glue you can. I want you to come home, wait till dark. Now, you're going to need to take some time off work for this, and you're going to need to steal your neighbor's car. You don't want to take your own car. I want you to find a national forest, and I want you to drive as far into it as the road allows. Then I want you to get out and start walking. After you've gone a mile or so into the woods, you got to take off all your clothes and cover yourself in mud. Also, if you have any equipment with you other than the PVC cache and the shovel, drop it. Drop it. You'll never see that gear again except for one knife. Next, you're going to start hunting deer, right? You don't care about the deer meat, you don't care about the fur, you don't care about the antlers, you want the deer poop in their intestines. You can get it off the ground if you're a sissy. So, knife in your teeth, crawling around, covered in mud, totally naked, until you find a deer, and then I'm going to want you to kill it. Don't even have to worry about letting it bleed out. You can just unzip its guts, take the poop out of the intestines. Now you're going to start hunting pine trees. Okay, once you find one and take it down, you get all the pitch you can, you start a survival fire. Now, you want to make sure you dig a Dakota fire pit so there's not a lot of smoke, you don't alert the authorities to your presence, and take the deer's skull, wash it out real good in a creek or whatever, and I want you to use the skull to boil the deer poop and the pine pitch. From that, you're going to make this weird sticky goo, and you're going to paint your cache tactical black. Find a good spot, no less than 15 miles into the woods, where you're going to bury the cache, stab your knife into the ground right there so you can find it, then go back to your neighbor's car and take the muffler off. Now that's a 30-mile round trip, so you can allow yourself a little bit of deer meat, but make sure you don't cook it and make sure you eat it off the bone. When you get back to your site, start digging. I wouldn't go less than 12 feet down. So once you plant your cache, right, you put some more dirt on top of it, then you take what's left of the deer and you put that in there. So it's going to be this rotten, maggoty mess if the jackbooted thugs ever have to dig down through it. That'll throw them off. Then another layer of dirt, and then you put the muffler in. And that way, if anyone comes along with a metal detector, right, and it pings on the tins, they'll get to the muffler first, and they'll think that's what the metal was. All right, you're almost done. You cover it up, you spread a bunch of pine needles and stuff around, and then I want you to take your survival knife, find a good sapling, right, lash the knife to the sapling with some of the deer tendon, and then bend it over, put a stake in the ground, and set it to release if anyone comes to look at your spot. If they get near your spot, the knife comes up. Maybe you could engrave the knife with like Sic Semper Tyrannis or something. That'd be cool. Now you go back to your neighbor's car, wipe it down for prints, walk away. Just walk away. Then you go home. I mean, it's going to take you a few more days to get home, right? Your spouse is going to beg to know where you've been for the last several days. You can never tell them. You can never tell anyone. Now you're going to need three things: a graphic artist, a tattoo artist, and a lawyer. So you go to the graphic artist, maybe pick one that has like a good working knowledge of like ancient symbology, Illuminati stuff, and you want them to design a map to the cache that is clearly only readable by other people who know about Dunhill tobaccos. You go to the tattoo artist and you have that tattooed on your chest. You go to the lawyer, you make sure in your will you have a clause that says that part of your chest has to be preserved. Can't be cremated, can't be buried, because you want your offspring to be able to find your tobacco. Here's the catch, though. You've probably bought some of that tobacco with a credit card, and that's traceable to you. So the jackbooted thugs at some point are going to come to your house to take you away, and your offspring won't even be able to see the map because you'll die in some CIA black site somewhere in Romania. By this point, your spouse has already left, and that's okay. You want them out of harm's way. So you go to Walmart, right? You buy a shotgun, preferably one of the Mossberg Z and B series with the door breaching muzzle. Definitely want to get that. And you also want to get, while you're there, you want to get a Gadsden flag. Come back home, you put the Gadsden flag on your wall, and you sit down on the couch with your shotgun, and you wait. And while you're waiting, keep the ends out for the ties that bind.